If you want to create the perfect content system that helps your business grow and attract more clients and opportunities, then these are the 5 roles that you need inside of your business. These to me are the 5 roles that you need in your business to be able to create a content machine that runs without always you needing to be the one to push it forward. Because what I see a lot is owners and founders will put all these different roles and responsibilities on their plate to push forward, and nothing ever gets executed because they spend so much time actually in the business that they can't allocate enough time to do this content system the right way. These are the same roles that we install into every single business that we've helped grow. The first role that you need to fill in your content system is a brand manager. A brand manager, I think, is one of the most, and if not the most important role that you can have in your content system, your content team, be able to produce results. And what this job is of a brand manager is to really look internally into the brand and be able to ask and ponder and get answers to, what is the mission of this brand? Where do we want to go? What do we want to be known for? Who are the ideal clients that we're looking to serve? What is this experience that we're looking to deliver on these things? I think a big mistake that a lot of brands do when going in to create content is they don't have someone that looks at this role, who's able to define what these goals and these messages and what these things need to be for the brand to be able to build the positioning that they want. And so a lot of brands just start creating a lot of random content that has no ability to build the brand and the perception of what you want your brand to be known for, but you just are caught up in the process of trying to create content. What I think a great brand manager does is they are able to create the messaging for the brand. So once they are able to understand, again, the mission, the values, who the ideal client is, they can set aside and say, hey, given to where we want to go, and these are the goals over the next 6 to 12 months, this is the messaging and the positioning that we need to take into the marketplace in order to build the recognition, the trust, the awareness, and to essentially attract our ideal clients. They're thinking of the strategy for each platform, what the look, the feel, all these different things in terms of customer experience, client experience, of what it's going to feel, of how that brand, your brand, is being represented on these platforms. The other important part that I think a brand manager plays in the whole part of the content system is team communication. I think teams that communicate very well and are in alignment with where and why the brand is going and saying and doing what it's doing is way more powerful than a brand that has a team of people that are all running in different directions, doing things off of what they think is best. And I think what a great brand manager does is they're able to communicate, hey team, this is where we're going, this is why we're doing it, this is what the brand is about, these are our values and all these different things. So everyone within the team is acting correspondingly and moving forward in the same direction. Because what I see a lot of times when, brands, businesses do not have a brand manager in there, what it seems a lot like, and this is even from our own experience, at the very beginning, is you end up playing tug of war with the brand, with the team. Everybody is working hard, but they're working in opposite directions. So it feels like no matter how hard you're turning the wheel and how much effort you're putting forth, you stay in the same spot because your other teammate is working in a different direction. So I think when you have a really great brand manager, they bring alignment to everyone and everyone works in the same direction, therefore helping your brand get to where it wants to be faster. The second role that we are going to build in our content system is our content strategist. So what this person does is all the information that the brand manager is compiling about what the brand is, what the values, the mission, what is the messaging that we want to be perceived into the market, of how we're going to build our positioning, the ideal client, all these different things, is they take that and they put it into action. So what they're starting to do first is researching. They're going through and they're looking at different creators in your niche on different platforms. What are the messages that are being shared that are doing well? What are the messages that are being shared that are doing bad? And why? Why is this content doing well? What are the specific formats of content that are doing well? They're doing their own research to bring back to the table to say, hey, these are the plays that I see that are winning now. These are the plays that I don't see that are winning now. Now, how can we inject what we want to be known for into these formats that are proven to be successful right now into the market? So that's the first part, is they're doing great research. The second thing that they're going to do is analyze the past. So past content that's been created, content that's currently being created, and content that will be created into the future, they are able to take this stuff and analyze it. Why did this work? Why did this not work? Why did this hook perform well and this hook did not do well? Why did we have a drop off in our content here? Why did this message get more clicks than this message? What were the correlations? They're starting to analyze optimize these things and find consistencies that then you can double down on that are bringing the right results. The next thing that this content strategist is needing to be really good at is understanding how a marketing funnel works. Awareness to interest to actually getting a client to reach out to you. They have to understand what are the pieces of content that fit in everywhere of the journey that are going to be hitting everybody that is at different stages within the funnel. Because if you're only creating top of funnel content, you're not moving people down into the buying window where they're saying, hey, I want to know more about what you're doing, or I want to set a call, or I'm thinking or interested in working with you. And if you're only creating bottom of the funnel content, then you're not actually getting new people into your funnel to be able to take them down. A great content strategist is going to see the whole bird's eye view in a holistic approach and understand that they need to create content for every single different part of the funnel in order to keep things coming in and moving down. A big thing too that I think a content strategist is going to be able to bring to the table is going from planned posting to reactive posting. One of the biggest things that I see in a lot of brands and businesses today is they post reactively. When something happens on the spot, they want to create a post right then or a reel right then. And everything is so reactive. And this is why you see, from one week you have 3 or 4 posts because a lot of things happen that week that you reactively created on, versus the next week you might have nothing. And then the next week you have 1, and then the next week you have 3. So you have this big sort of inconsistency in your posting because it's always reactive based on what's going on. A great content strategist does not operate like that. They work off of a planned schedule. They are going to know this is our messaging, what we want to be known for. We are not going to just create content when it comes to us. We are intentionally creating content. We put things on a set calendar and we go into shoots, and we can create 12 to 15 different pieces of content in a 3 to 4 hour time frame. A big side note is that this person needs to be extremely good at writing hooks. If you have bad hooks in your content, it's never going to get watched. A good content strategist does not overlook the importance of a great hook. Okay, the third person you are going to need on your team is a videographer. And a videographer is a huge, I can't even tell you, benefit to the business if they are doing their job right. And I think the biggest fallacy of why people do not find success when they hire a videographer is they're simply hiring the wrong person, or they're not giving them the right tools to be able to succeed. And one of the biggest downfalls that you need to avoid when you're hiring a videographer or getting someone to fill this role is you want to at all costs avoid someone who is just a button pusher. The big thing that you want your videographer to be is like a director. You do not want someone that just comes, pushes the button, and just goes about it. You want someone that's going to be able to help feed off of your energy and make the shoot better. And there is a big difference here. For someone that just shows up and just is like monotone, yeah, stand here, or maybe they have some decent energy, but really are just button pushers, your content is not going to be as good. And what I mean by like a director is someone who's interactive, that's telling you, hey, your posture is this. I love your energy here. Hit this a little bit higher when it comes to this next sentence. When you're doing your hook, I want you to have a little bit of walk, a little bit of movement. They're directing because they understand that they play a part in how successful that the video is actually going to be. They're directing a video, and they also need to have a really good understanding on your brand, what the look, the feel, and these different things are, so that they can shoot it in a way that is going to give the feel that you want of your brand. And then the other side of a great videographer, I believe, is great organization. You have to be able to translate projects. Some video people, they do all their own editing. So once they do the clips, they upload it, they go and they edit their own projects. For us, we have set videographers, we have people who are set editors. So for us, the video person needs to do a phenomenal job at passing that message along to the editors of what the project actually needs to look like at the end. The fourth role that you need to fill is an editor. And this might seem like, should you spend the money on a great editor or should you not? You can go to places like Fiverr nowadays and you can find someone who will edit your Instagram reel for $10 and your YouTube videos for $80, and it'll show. Because I think that there is a complete difference from when you have an editor who really knows how to elevate a project versus that you just have someone that's going in and creating some captions and doing some half-ass little transitions and things of that nature. A great editor is going to know music for the brand. They are going to know sound animations. They are going to know how to get an elevated feel into the project that is going to make it more engaging for your end users. There's such a level to editing. It's like one of those things that, like, when you know, you know. And I would suggest, like, go onto Fiverr and give projects to people at a $15 rate, at a $50 rate, and at a $100 rate, in the same projects with the same directions, and watch how much better that person at that level is going to operate and bring life to that project. I can't say enough. A great editor is a big bonus to have. have, and it's not crazy expensive to hire good talent on that, and it'll pay dividends in the long run. And the last but certainly not least role that you need on your content team is a distribution person. I think that this almost is the most important role, like right there second, like brand manager, distribution person, because you obviously got to have the right messaging and you're building the right positioning within your market, and that's exactly what your brand manager is going to do. But if you spend so much time, energy, resources into creating content, but it does not get seen by anybody, then it's not going to do anything to effectively grow your business. So distribution is like the key from your content to putting it to actually getting people to reach out to you that they want to work with you. So distribution is so important. And there's three big things of distribution that your distribution person should be focusing on. And the first one is organic. They need to be posting to every single platform. They understand that your ideal clients all have their own platforms of preference. Some like Instagram, some like Facebook, some like YouTube Shorts, some prefer LinkedIn. But no matter what, if your ideal client is searching for you, no matter what platform that they go to, they should be able to find content there that is going to help pull them closer to wanting to work with your brand. So thing number one, make sure that this person knows how to get content on all the different platforms and they do it on a regular cadence. The second part of this is email marketing. If you're creating the content and you have an email list, your email list, I would say 85% of those people are not seeing your content that is being posted on social media. But these people are in your email list. They're past clients, they're future clients that might have, opted in to be on your email newsletter list. They're people of interest that you really want to stay in front of. So I think what you need to do is your best pieces of performing content each week that you're posting, send those in an email newsletter. This doesn't have to be something that you overthink. If you're posting 3 to 4 different pieces of content on short form every single week, find the best video, the second best video that is being posted, and then just regurgitate it into an email newsletter. Literally just drop the video in the email, give some text about it, and ask, hey, if you want to see the full video or you want to watch the video, click here and go over to Instagram. When we send this email and we have list of 1,000 people, we get about 100 to 150 people of 1,000 to click that link and go watch the full video on Instagram or YouTube. I just think that's so important. Another great way is to use email marketing within what you're doing. And the last but certainly not the least is using paid ads. And a big question that I get from a lot of people is, should I be using paid ads in my business? Is paid ads worth it? I always say yes. We are business people. We are not content creators. We're not leaving our livelihood and if sales come in or not up to the Instagram algorithm. I think that if you can spend $10, $15, $20 a day in exchange for being able to get in front of an extra 2,000 to 5,000 people per day, that's a trade-off that I would make all day as a business owner. So this distribution person knows how to run effective social campaigns as well across all these different social platforms, so your content is constantly getting in front of new people. That is the 3 angles, is organic ads and email marketing, that this person needs to know. I hope you got some value from this video. These are the 5 roles that whenever we go into business, we 100% make sure that we are implementing into: brand manager, content strategist, a videographer, an editor, and a distribution person. 5 roles, 5 different responsibilities that also have their own responsibilities within that role. But I hope you can see now that if you're a business owner and you're looking to take all this on by yourself, it can seem very, very, very overwhelming. It's a second job within itself. And if you are managing already 40 hours within what you are doing in the business already, how are you going to take on this 40-hour job? This is why I think it is so crucial to find people that can fill these 5 roles for you and own these 5 roles for you, so you can have a content system that works without you always needing to be the one that pushes it forward. So if you got some value from this video, please subscribe to our channel. All you got to do is hit that red dot in the corner, and we drop a new video every single week on Friday. So be sure to watch the next one.